Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Black Lightning, Cold Dead Hands, issue number 2 of 6 as a limited series. Here's my biggest complaint about this. This is a clear reboot, all right? He finally figures out a name in here, Tobias Whale. Tobias Whale is probably his biggest arch nemesis if you read his comic books back in the day. But it's a brand new name to him. He's like, Tobias Whale, what? I expect him to be like, my old arch nemesis, but he doesn't say that. He doesn't. So instead, this is obviously a complete reboot. So in issue 1, where he indicates that he's been on the streets before, but now he's back, it's literally just assume that he's been on the streets, but he's, he never met Tobias Whale. None of that. So we don't know exactly what his stories were in the back. In the past, I should say. The trick of it is to understand that this is also not a Rebirth title. Yeah, look at the front page. It doesn't say Black Lightning Rebirth. It's not in yes, there's a new upper left, giving the new symbol, the new, where the price is and all that on the front cover. But unfortunately, it's not a Rebirth title. So we may never see him again. This is an Elseworlds comic for all intents and purposes. They could suddenly, completely usher this into the proper universe. No problem there. It's just, I don't know. That's the kind of thing that kind of bugs me about this. I mean, you got Tony Isabella on this. He's one of the co-creators, for this character. Either way, this was a good, fun comic book. I really enjoyed the message that was in here. And listen, here's the big thing about it. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to go in this and they're going to be offended on whatever political spectrum you're on, whatever thought process you are when you walk into this. You're probably going to find something that will offend you. The trick is, if you just go in to read a good comic book, you're going to find a good comic book. If you go in just to see a general idea of what's being said, the message is being delivered, yeah, you're probably just going to enjoy it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? There is the idea, the sense in here that there are bad cops. Somebody who walks in here with a really bad attitude might say, oh, see, they're saying that all cops are bad. How dare they? No, they're not. There were police in here that were policing other police. There were police in here who were looking out for regular people. I feel like this was very fair and balanced, personally. I don't feel like there was any kind of an agenda being pushed here necessarily, just simply a look. This comic, at the same time, it's not going to leave you woke. You're not going to read this comic book and say, oh, I now understand how everything worked. No, that's not what you're going to get from reading this. What this is, it's a good, fun comic book that does take a good, hard look at some of the social conventions that exist out there, some of the articles in the news currently, and it addresses them. That's it. And there's no opinion made. There's no verdict rendered. Nothing. It's just simply a good comic. For that reason alone, I could give this a good grade. But the idea that this was also a very well thought out comic book. You actually see guns being upgraded by being miniaturized. Yeah, that's usually the way things work. You get to see that there are actually drug dealers. You get to see that little Anise knows who he is. And I love that. I want to see more of this Anise character. I want to see her explored more. I actually want to know what's up with that radio program that they indicated, which is clearly a reference to a Twilight Zone episode. But they're indicating that maybe this was appropriated from something that actually came out earlier on a radio program. That sounds a lot like the Elvis Presley debacle to me. That's cool. I just couldn't find anything about it on the internet. That doesn't mean that, whatever. It means whatever it means. But I am more interested in finding out about that. This was a good comic book. I'm giving this a B+. I genuinely enjoyed reading this. This was good from beginning to end. They even addressed the one big problem that I had in the previous issue, was that his partner on the police force seemed to be in on the whole debacle. But no, as it turns out, she can't. Well, probably not. She's probably not. Let's just say she's probably not. Either way, what we do see is that it is addressed, and it's actually worse than they thought. Because now they know that he didn't do this. But, because they figure out the self-destruct and the guns. Either way, this was a really good comic. I actually enjoyed this a lot. All right, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.